The following video is not made for kids under 13. If you are not 13 years old, please exit out of the video now. And please, YouTube, do not sue me. Hey guys, Leah Mookie here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had Cloud Strife's Powers. This is part 10, so that said, let's get into this, shall we? Right after a week of training, Izuku is fully ready. With his new wooden sword raring to go, he's now ready to take on anyone at the sports festival. Soon after, everyone in Class 1A is resting in the waiting room, with Izuku trying to amp himself up. Same also goes for Zidane as well, wondering on how he's going to get through this any way he can. Not only that, Shoto soon shows up in front of Izuku saying, "Midoriya, you're quite strong. If anything, you have to be one of the strongest in all of our classroom. However, in the sports festival, I'm going to show you that you are not. That I'm the strongest." As soon after, everyone is ticked off about this declaration of war. Soon after, we already had the general studies students and Class 1B already have a declaration against Class 1A, but now our own classmates are now setting declarations of war. And Bakugo gets irritated hearing this, that Shoto is paying more attention to Izuku than him. As Izuku's saying, "You really think that? You really think that I'm stronger than everyone else here?" As he's saying, "What else would there?" As he says, "There are way more other people stronger than me. Maybe not in physical strength, but when it comes to quirks, anything can happen. Anyone can be stronger if you fight against somebody that you're not equipped to go against. Everyone knows that." As he's saying, "If you think you can beat, I'll take on your challenge, but you're gonna have to fight against everyone else to get to me." As he's saying, "Fine then." Soon after, Kirishima gets in front of both Izuku and Shoto. Same thing also goes with Zidane's, the two of them saying, "Whoa, come on, you two. I don't think there's enough time. You guys shouldn't be arguing against each other. I mean, we're all classmates and friends here." As Shoto's saying, "We're not friends here. This is to show on who's better. Nothing more and nothing else." As Izuku gets pissed off, saying, What's his deal? Why is he acting like this?" After that, after waiting, they all arrive at the center of the stadium, with all the other students showing up as well, being Class 1B, with Cecil leading in front, being class rep of his class, and all the other general studies and support course students as well, also arriving, with Midnight asking Izuku to take the stand since he had the highest points in the entry exam to give out a speech. As Izuku gets a little bit nervous and wonders what he should say, as he says, "I never thought I could actually become a hero when I was a kid. But now that I have made it this far, I want to show everyone that I can be a hero with my own strength, just like one person believed in me and always told me these words: embrace your dreams, and no matter what, always protect your honor as a hero, no matter what." After saying this, many were confused, but also many were excited, with Tifa and Cecil and many other students clapping for Izuku for what he said, with everyone in the stands also clapping as well, as he feels quite nervous saying that and feels like he's going to be sick, with Ida with Ida saying, "You did well, Midoriya. I really do mean it. Makes sense to you being class rep as well." He's saying, "Thanks. I appreciate it a lot." Soon after, Midnight explains that they'll be going through the obstacle course. With them, that they'll be leaving the stadium and going all around avoiding traps and things that are getting in their way in the process. As Aizawa and President Mike began getting out their commentary, saying on what they should be worrying about the most. As Aizawa says, the door, with Shoto freezing everyone that's at the entrance, getting a head start in the process. However, many in Class 1A and certain people in Class 1B were able to get out of the entrance as well. As for Izuku, he was able to get out pretty easily as well. There, he runs as fast as he can. However, the person that's more ahead is being Shoto, Tifa, and Ida. However, Izuku uses One for All to get an upper hand, just a bit, being only 15%, getting faster and faster. However, soon after, the 0-point robots show up, with many other robots getting in everyone else's way, with Shoto stopping one of the 0-point robots with hitting it with a huge wave of his ice, and then basically causing it to collapse and fall to the ground, with him heading further and further ahead. Soon after, Tifa sees another 0-point robot and decides to just destroy one of the legs, causing it to fall off with just a single punch. Cecil sees this as well and just keeps flying anyway, and just passes all the other robots and tries his best to keep his distance. As for Izuku, well, he jumps as high as he can and just, passes all, wanting to help out all the other students. He tries using his meteor shot and lands and hits the robot's head once more, wondering if they'll destroy even without his more powerful meteorite. And there, the robot begins falling as he wonders, "Oh God, I hope that doesn't hurt anybody." Soon after, he just decides not worrying about it and heads straight forward by using his new braver technique that he calls his braver rush, while he's making him a lot faster in the air and landing pretty close farther ahead, taking only fourth place. Soon after, they pass all the other obstacles, even the obstacle against the cliff sides, and just jumps as high as it can, and using braver rush again. And the only problem being the minefield. That's his number one problem. Wondering on how he's going to get through this. Soon after, he begins thinking to take all the mines that he can find, and soon after, jumps on all of the mines, and soon he is sent flying. Soon after, he passes Cecil, Tifa, and Ida as well. He sees that Bakugo is fighting for first place with Shoto. There, he begins thinking, both of them annoy the hell out of me, so why don't I just screw with them a bit? And summons one lone meteor shot and hits between both Bakugo and Shoto, basically forcing them to be knocked down in the process. As they see this, they're wondering, what the hell? And then Bakugo screams, "Damn you, Deku!" Soon after, he lands as fast as he can, activates One for All, and runs as fast as he can. There, he gets first place, just like he did in canon. As soon after, everyone else arriving just as usual, with Shoto taking second place, Bakugo taking third, Tifa taking fourth, Cecil taking fifth, Ida taking sixth, and so on and so forth, as everyone else arriving as well, with the next being the cavalry battle. As for this one, I have a hard time trying to decide on who would be part of Izuku's team, since there are quite a bit of people that would want to be part of Izuku's team now, since they saw his quirk and his abilities. Not only that, he has a lot more self-confidence in himself. So, however, I've kind of decided on Izuku's preference on who he would want to be on his team. That said, let's get back into the story. Ochiko still wants to be part of Izuku's team to help him out because they're good friends and everything. As Izuku saying, "Thanks, Uraraka, I really appreciate it." As she says, "Don't mention it." With Tifa also joining as well, wanting to help out her childhood friend, no matter what. As she's saying that if you lose, I won't be able to beat you down in the next round, don't you think? As he's saying, "Okay, thanks." And then the only problem being his next teammate, since Mei Hatsume also volunteered to be part of his team as well, wondering if she would be a good addition. But with her support items, yeah. However, he doesn't really know too much about her, and thinking that her support items wouldn't be much useful at all. But then just denying her anyway. With that, she decides to go with Shoto to be on his team anyway, instead of Kaminari. As for the final member that would be part of Izuku's team would be Cecil, as he would volunteer to help out anyway. As Izuku wonders, "But you're part of Class 1B, and if I recall, your class really wants to destroy us." As he says, "Class or not, you're my friend. I'm not going to abandon my friends just because we're in different classrooms. That's not the kind of person I am." As he says, "Thanks, Cecil. I really mean it, man. You're a really good friend." Soon after, saying, "Don't mention it." Then the teams are already prepared and they're ready to go. As for the formation, Ochiko would be the head of the horse, and being able to, and using her quirk, allowing them to be able to float, allowing all of them to be able to float. With Cecil being the rear, he would be able to support everyone else with his mixture between light and darkness. His quirk being lunar, allowing him to switch between light and darkness. However, he can't use both at the same time. And Tifa being the front of the horse with her enhanced speed, she and her strength carrying the entire team would be easy. As for Izuku, he would be on the right side of the rear. With his sword, he would be able to keep his distance, and he's able to spread his Mako energy around everyone else as long as he comes in contact with them, making them indestructible for a short time. So, that in their formation, everything goes half as planned, as everyone keeps rushing after them and everything else, since once again they got higher points, since both Tifa took 4th place and Cecil took 5th. And with Izuku's 1 million points, everyone will be after them, no matter what. However, their strategy of keeping their distance and protecting their headbands works actually a lot more better than it would in canon, since with Cecil's help, his dark powers allows him to use not just regular darkness, but also dark flames as well, to keep their distance from everyone else. And his power of light allows Ochiko to, floating to be a lot more easier on her, since she wouldn't have too much strain around her, and having to vomit a lot more often than usual. And with Izuku using his Mako energy to surround everyone else, any attacks that would be pretty devastating, wouldn't be too harsh at all. And not only that, his strength is amplified with One for All. And Tifa, with her speed, she's keeping their distance from everyone else before they can even realize it's just child's play for her. The only problem being Ida's reciprocal burst and Bakugo's huge determination. Realizing this, they decide to switch up their strategy a bit, with Izuku distracting all the other teams. By using his beam blade, he's able to cause a huge wave to stop all the other teams from in their tracks, allowing them to sneak behind them and take their headbands. And with Tifa's high immense speed, no one would be the wiser. However, Ida's reciprocal burst still almost surprises them entirely, with them getting the 1 million point headband in the process. Knowing this would happen, Izuku already had a plan ready to go, that Cecil would change to his dark side and would summon 3 orbs of darkness that would slip behind the team, causing them to trip up for a little bit. With this would give them a 5-second opening that will allow them to take the headband that was taken from them. With this, Izuku taking the spot of the head of the horse, he would grab Todoroki's headband and take the points, but not the 10 million points. A couple of the other headbands that he already stole from others in the process. Knowing that it would been too late, knowing that they would also switch them as well before they realized it. As for that, Bakugo would still try to take the other headbands after taking Monoma's headbands for himself. And there, the cavalry battle would end, with seeing who would get the top 4 spots in the next round. First place being Shoto, just like in canon, and second place being, Izuku's team. Third place being Bakugo, and fourth place Shinso, just like in canon. However, his team is different from like it was before. His team was composed of Zidane, Tidus, and Aoyama, since he brainwashed each and every one of them to get them to be part of his team, and that they have their spectators. However, there's only one little problem: Tidus wanting to kill Shinso. Any rate, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you want to enjoy the video. I really appreciate it if you guys would like and comment down below. Also subscribe, which helps out my channel a lot. At any rate, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later.